Hey everyone! So today we're diving into something that feels, well, incredibly familiar to a lot of us. We're talking about burnout. It's that feeling of being totally and completely wiped out, emotionally, physically, mentally. It's become so common, it feels less like a crisis and more like just the way things are now. So, where does this really come from? And more importantly, is there anything we can actually do about it? Let's get into it.
This quote from an IT worker in a recent study, it just hits home, right? For so many of us, especially now, that physical door between our work life and our home life has just vanished. And when the physical door goes, the mental one isn't far behind. That hard stop to the day is gone. Instead, you get this slow, creeping blend of work and life that leaves you feeling like you're permanently on the clock.
But here's the thing. This is so much more than just feeling a little overworked or tired. We are talking about a recognized clinical crisis. So let's shift from just how this feels to what it actually is, so we can understand what we're really up against.
Okay, so this is the official definition from Dr. Felicia Harvey's research, and the two key phrases here are chronic and not effectively managed. This is so important. It tells you right away that burnout isn't just the result of one bad week or a tough project. No, it's a syndrome. It's something that builds up over a long time when that workplace stress is just relentless and we don't have the support or the tools to deal with it.
And this is exactly why this matters so much. Burnout isn't just all in your head. It's a genuine public health issue. All the research shows that this kind of long-term unmanaged stress has really severe, totally measurable consequences for our minds and our bodies.
So, what kind of damage are we actually talking about here? Well, the list is pretty scary. We're looking at a higher risk of heart disease, immune systems that just don't work as well, and a direct, proven link to depression and anxiety. And to try and cope with all that, people often turn to unhealthy habits, which just creates this awful, vicious cycle. So you see, this isn't just about job performance. This is about our actual fundamental health.
All right, so to really get how we got here, let's kind of peel this thing back like an onion. The very first layer, the most obvious one, is our immediate environment. This always-on, super connected modern workplace that we all live in.
Yeah, research points the finger directly at these things. All these digital tools were supposed to make our lives easier, make us more efficient, but what they've also done is chain us to our jobs 24/7. And remote work, it's great for flexibility, sure, but it completely erased those physical boundaries we used to rely on. It's this weird paradox that has hit millennials, the first generation to grow up completely online, especially hard.
And this quote from another IT pro, man, it just perfectly captures that reality. Even when you're not actually working, that digital leash, as they call it, keeps you mentally tied to the job. The possibility of an urgent Slack message at 10 o'clock at night means your brain never, ever truly disconnects.
But what if that always-on workplace isn't really the root cause? What if it's just a symptom of something way deeper? Let's peel back that final layer of the onion and look at the huge societal pressures that shape our behavior. Pressures that lead to what the philosopher Byung-Chul Han calls a society of self-exploitation.
Okay, stick with me, because this is the absolute core of the idea. Byung-Chul Han argues that we've made this massive shift. We used to live in what he calls a disciplinary society, which was all about external rules, things you should not do. But today, we live in an achievement society. And here, the driving force is totally internal. The new motto is, yes, you can. And the pressure doesn't come from a boss or a king. It comes from ourselves. The old society punished people for breaking external rules. Our society produces people who are depressed because they feel like they failed to live up to their own massive potential.
So what does this actually mean for you and me? It means we have all become entrepreneurs of ourselves. Think about it. We're not being forced to work harder by some factory boss anymore. Instead, we're driven by what Han calls a free constraint. It's this internal compulsion to constantly maximize our own achievement, to do more, to be better, even when nobody is telling us to.
This quote, wow, it really gets to the twisted heart of modern burnout. We are our own worst bosses. We're our own taskmasters. We push ourselves right to the edge. And in that process, the line between the person demanding the work and the person doing the work just completely collapses. We become both the perpetrator and the victim of our own ambition.
And here is the ultimate crazy paradox of it all. The constant message we get from our culture is nothing is impossible. You can do anything. But the end result of all that relentless positivity isn't success. It's a deep, profound exhaustion. It's a depressive fatigue where we end up feeling like actually nothing is possible. We literally burn ourselves out from the sheer weight of infinite potential. Okay, so if the problem exists on all these different levels, the individual, the workplace, and society, then the solution has to match, right? It is not enough to just tell people, hey, manage your stress better. We need a structured, full-on approach to make any real difference. So here's what that looks like.
The way forward is really a three-pronged attack, and you have to do all three. First, yeah, it does start with us, on the individual level, building our own resilience, learning to set boundaries. But it absolutely cannot stop there. Step 2 is on the organizations. Companies have a massive responsibility to create healthier cultures. We're talking about clear job roles, real recognition for hard work, flexibility. And finally, the biggest level, society. We need reforms and policies that actually support mental health and value a person's well-being over constant productivity. All three levels have to be working together or none of them will.
And that brings us to our final and maybe the most fundamental point here. To truly solve this burnout crisis, maybe it's not enough to just have coping mechanisms. Maybe we have to go deeper and challenge the very idea that's driving this whole thing in the first place.
So this is the question that I really want to leave you with. If this whole cultural obsession with limitless achievement is the real root of our collective exhaustion, if yes we can has become the problem, then what's the alternative? What should we be striving for? What does a healthy, sustainable, and actually fulfilling life look like in a world that finally learns the incredible value of saying, you know what? No, we can't do it all. Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.